Welcome to another video here explaining how these Honda GC160s work. We're going to be talking about Valvetrains, components and theory. This is part 3. What we're going to be doing here today is going underneath this valve cover and adjusting the valve gap distance. The tools you're going to need for this: 9mm wrench, vice grips or pliers, feeler gauges. What you're also going to need is whatever tools to get to your valve train. On this engine, it's super easy. All we need is a 10mm socket and we can get to everything.
I'll start by just knocking these 4 bolts loose.
Set that down. Remove the valve cover. Get to our valves. What we want to start by doing is checking our valve clearances. And we're going to go on this engine, the specific valve clearance that we're looking for is 0.006 plus or minus 0.002 inches. So we want to go to our thickness gauge or feeler gauge that is displaying that number there. And what we are going to do is just slide it gently between the valve and the top. And if we can wiggle that at all, we know we've got to change it a little. If we can't, we're good. And if it's set right, we do not need to adjust our valve clearances. Now this one, little wiggle, this one, a lot of wiggle. So we more than likely, that's way out. If you want to check that plus or minus 2 that I mentioned before, we could go up to 8 thousandths here. And if 8 thousandths still fits, we're technically still within tolerance. We could go all the way down to 4 thousandths. This one doesn't have a 4 thousandths, but we still have tons of wiggle room up there. If we go to 8 thousandths over here, we're just about out of wiggle room. So this one on the right, my right, your left, probably fine. This one over here, though, is definitely not fine. This one is still wiggling 12 thousandths. 12 thousandths is still wiggling. All the way up to 21. And we've still got a wiggle. Not even going to bother finding out what it is. We'll leave this one, and we'll adjust this one. First, we measured our valve clearance. Next thing we're going to do is loosen this jam nut. This is called a jam nut on the top. Many valve systems use that exact thing there. What we're going to do is we're going to tighten this down quite a ways. An easy way to do this, to take our 6 thousandths, make sure we just have the 6 thousandths. Sometimes they're hiding behind each other. And you don't want to tighten it tightly. You don't use the wrench here, just your fingers. We're just gently going to snug that up, ever so gently, so that we have our 6 thousandths in there. And it should be able to slide. It shouldn't be tight. It should be able to slide. Move it on out. You can use the pliers for this. I'm gently gonna spin our jam nut down. And this is where the pliers get nice. So you grab this, and sometimes you don't need this, even the pliers. Grab that with the vice grips, the center pin. Just give that a little tightening with the wrench, then double check it. Make sure you didn't move it too much. The feeler gauge goes in, the 6 fits. We're going to check to make sure that, check the 8. 8's taking a little too much force to get in there for comfort, so we're going to say we are good. Again, this one was good. This one on your right, my left wasn't. And that's it. That's all there is to it. Set our valve cover back on there. Put our bolts in. And that is how you adjust valve clearances. Proper clearance for this engine was 0.06 plus or minus 2 thousandths of an inch. Hope you enjoyed it. Take care and see you next time.